Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei @Films. Heute sitzen wir im Gartenbaukino an der neuen Bar, wie ihr sehen könnt, zusammen mit Mathieu Amalric.
Ja.
Hey, hi Mathieu.
Hallo.
That's why we will speak in English, obviously.
Ah.
So we should speak in French normally, but my French is not good enough.
Ich könne in Deutsch sprechen, aber ich verstande, aber kann nicht sprechen.
Das ist verständlich.
Yeah.
So we stick to English.
Okay.
So very good. I want to talk about your film Ser Montfort.
Yes.
Which I think is a great film about mourning, about a female character. It's a great film about memory also, and about how we can look at something after a traumatic incident. So my first question is just related to, it's based on a theater play.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can tell us a bit about that and how you made it into a film. What was your idea behind it?
Yeah, it's a play that was written by a woman called Claudine Galea in 2003, and in fact it was never performed. It was those characters, those never existed. And it was a friend that wanted to mount that play. And he gave the text to me. He had to say goodbye to his project. And I read it and I cried, And it's not written like a play. It's written like a poem. Sometimes there are only songs. The little boy, Paul, only talks with poems. Sometimes the characters, there's a sort of general rumor, and it's A, B, C, D. Sometimes it's a long monologue. So it's disconcerting. But what really grabbed me is this so simple thing that she invented. So simple. That is, if I pretend that I left, then they stayed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And that's, I think, in those moments, because when you see the film, of course, what I liked also is that when it starts in the play, I kept that in the film, it's the story of a woman that seems to go away. That's all.
Yeah.
So you are in something, but there seems to be underneath, maybe, should we really believe what we're seeing? It's not totally sure. Yeah. And what I was excited was, and that's where the play, is that the audience, because they're watching the film right now, just there. And nobody's going out, so it's
so
okay
far
for the moment. Is that the audience does exactly the same travel than Clarisse. That means a sort of denial. We believe what we see on the screen. We know that what is on the screen is not true, but we believed in it, so it's true. Yeah. So that's what she does. She's doing the film.
Yeah.
She's doing directly the film.
Yeah. And was this non-chronological order was already in this theater play like that, or how did you work with that? Yeah.
There was even in the play something that I changed, is that the switch, let's say, was really at the end. I wrote the script like that. Of course it was seducing, because it's like, wow, you have a twist at the end, it's wonderful. But I felt, because we had to shoot in 3 seasons because of the snow, the mountain that is under the snow, and then in the springtime. So I could be a bit a spectator of what I had shot, and we would edit with François Gédigier, and I could react. And I felt that we were like, if we that were doing the film were like puppeteers, and that we were a bit too far from her. So that's why I then really felt that we had to shoot something where the audience would know things that they would prefer to forget, like her. Maybe after 12 minutes, it's said. After 28 minutes, it's said. but you don't want to believe it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And she has so much humor. She has so much vivacity.
Yeah.
I didn't want to film a woman crying.
Yeah.
I wanted to film. I was attracted to her imagination, her gesture of imagination.
Yeah.
I found that beautiful.
It's maybe we should tell the people who have not yet seen the film, which you should see, that there is something happened in the life of that woman.
Yes.
What you refer to is that we glimpse at it, we get an idea of it, and sometimes it's even outspoken, but then we forget about it again and go somewhere else. And it's really, it's almost a tactile, haptical experience, also related to the way you film it, of course, because the movements you have with the camera and the editing there's almost a bodily feeling for this woman.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. Because we tried to edit with the belly,
Yeah.
not with the head.
Yeah.
And that's why each time we would shoot those hyper-realistical moments, we would do very, very long shots to have very, very trivial, casual things of life. Even when she imagines, and even when it's real. It's because I think that in those moments, you know, when you are in a love rupture, split, I think the head, you need to get crazy to be able to continue to live, no?
Yeah.
The craziness, the delirium, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of delirium.
Yeah.
It's chemical. I think it's a protection. So, and because then you just...
Yeah.
Because the past doesn't exist anymore, even in a love story. The other person says, I didn't live at all what you... Our past, for me, it wasn't that. What do you mean it wasn't that? But we were so happy. No, because that day, you know, you remember at the lake you said that? Well, what? Well...
Yeah.
So the past, it's finished.
Yeah.
The present is only torture. So the future, you can... Hope is a drug, no?
Yeah.
So hope, the political know that. They always manage to... That we continue, we try, well, let's hope that we continue to hope, because... But that's what Clarisse is doing, and she's doing it exactly like the audience. Nobody is doing the film, in fact.
Yeah.
And that, we discovered that with François during the editing, and of course then we would shoot in a different way. And and when you have somebody, a person like Vicky Krieps, you know, it's just, we always say it's our film with Vicky.
Yeah.
It's our film.
It's like, I mean, you need an actress that can, you know, fill that with all these different emotions she has to, and they come next to each other and they're on very different scales, and it works. I wonder, did you, for her, did you work with her like in a chronological order? How did you know, this psychological journey, or did she have to react to a lot of different things?
No. But then what I do is every morning I give new pages to the whole crew, and there I like to talk to them like a letter. I said, what's happening today? What is exactly the situation? So of course, for the crew and the actors, because it's exactly the same thing. On a set, there's not behind and in front. We're all doing the shot, you know. We knew the order, and Vicky knew. But what was sometimes so for her is that she had to keep it inside, because she's telling another story.
Yeah.
She's telling the story of a woman who left her family.
Yeah.
And so what I like also is that at the beginning, we sort of judge her.
Yeah.
Or we say, oh God, she's doing something that I never managed to do myself, you know, because we all imagine how to leave the house. Which door, what do I do with the phone? And she does it. But then, so she knew, and Clarisse knows already also. She's not crazy. She's very conscious of what she is inventing. But then it collapses. So she has to find another invention. And she finds a second tactique. Using the music, using through the piano, the way that, especially her little girl, because she seems to have a more close connection or more imagination for her little girl than for her boy. And it goes through piano. I try not to say everything. But
it's of course.
But it's not a film on secret.
No.
It's not a film like Usual Suspect, or at the end it's a...
Yeah.
But then it depends. Some people, of course, just... It depends on what you lived or what you're going through at the moment you see the film, but feel something immediately, like in the gas station when she says to her friend, I see them.
Yeah.
And and some
also the scene
continue not to believe till the end.
Yeah, I can imagine now.
And it's great because they.
Yeah, I also the scene where she starts talking in German actually and talks about how one can treat children. That is so strong. Yeah, it's amazing.
Because at that moment, people don't know it yet, so it's like, well, of course, she left her children, so she feels guilty. Or when she is at the bar, and she says, well, Marc doesn't call me. He's gonna forget me. He thinks I left a week, then a month, then 6 months, and then he's gonna... And but when at the end of the film you go out, you walk in the street, you saw the film, and then you just stop and shit. My God, that was already part of her invention.
Exactly.
But after.
It's a film that works after, it goes on.
So, people who see it 2 times love it also, because they're in another sort of emotion. But we tried the big difficulty was that it wasn't a police film. That to go down from the brain to there. You see what I mean? That you're not
looking for a secret or
that you forget to look. You're just, and that I think is the body and the face of Vicky. The light, the pain. What I like in life is when you see people in the street, in the metro, and all that, you look at those faces and you invent lives. And often you're wrong. Because sometimes it happens the next day, you see the same person and you see them laugh or they tell you something of their life. And, oh my God. So the idea that you never know the life of somebody. And cinema, it's complicated because people pay to go and see a film. So it's like, okay, now you have to tell me everything of your thoughts. Because I paid for it. And there, the film is, who is she? I like that. I'm very obsessed by Aung San Suu Kyi right now. You see what I mean? That's sort of, and it's fascinating.
It's true.
And so it belongs to us. I don't know, it's...
No, it's very true. In your film, there's a lot, in your films generally, I feel there's a lot of loneliness in the protagonists.
Oh, yeah.
Also in this one, obviously, but it reaches back to your very first films even. Why or how do you come back to that?
I don't think about that. I have to think about that. I see what you mean. But my reaction was more, that's why characters always need to go in a cafe to talk to a stranger, and or the flutist that puts his hand, that there is there or to you know.
Yeah, yeah.
There is a belief in humankind. It's not
Yeah.
solitude. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
there is something warm.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
And because there is solitude, we need the others. It's like in text of Thomas Bernhard, you know.
Mhm,
Is
yeah.
Thomas Bernhard solitude, or is it I need to speak to you?
Yeah. It's almost a rage
Is it a
against
monologue
solitude.
or is it
Yeah.
a dialogue?
Yeah, exactly.
Bernhard.
Yeah.
And when it says, I hate people, and in the same time, I love people.
Mhm.
And in the same time, I look by the window, I see the people, I hate them, but there's no other people. So in fact, I'm obsessed by people, and I love people, and I hate them. So it's you know, it's serre-moi fort. I mean,
Yeah.
hold me.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I feel is that people who saw the film, audience who pay for the ticket, because for 3 weeks I was, you know, touring in France. It's very important for me to talk with to hear the audience, and then in the street, because some people are very shy, don't talk in the cinema, they talk outside,
Yeah.
or at the cafe when they drank a little, and you go till 3 o'clock in the morning, and there it's just the film. It's not even the film, it's just, it goes in their lives, and they all say this thing that they want to do like her. They want to do like Clarice.
Yeah.
That it's not a film that puts the head under the water, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yes, there is solitude because, of course, what happens to her. But, you know, at the beginning, it's like she feels dead. You can even believe that she is dead. She is visiting
Yeah.
alive people.
Yeah.
It's because it's that feeling,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So I think that's it.
Okay.
And I think this feeling of holding tight and being close to people, and also being, you know, like as you said, being enraged by people, being in love with people, is also cinema. No, it's always cinema,
yeah.
and it's going to the cinema. So,
Yeah, there's yeah. But you know, I love also a film where there is such a pain where people can't. There is something. I mean, it can be anything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.